Hello everybody, and welcome back to Super Mario Galaxy 2! So, the last part, we went through both missions, the regular mission and Sweet Mystery. Then we went for Price of Comments in not only that galaxy, but also Bowser's Lair, Lava Land. And we went through this, and we went for the secret mission in Supermassive Galaxy. And now, as we go for this galaxy again, so we can go for the actual main mission this time. I guess since we are just going back there, I guess there are some things I should probably go over as we are just going to be going through this again. First off, the music that plays in this galaxy. For those of you who have played Galaxy 1, may know this music. Because it was essentially the exact same music that we got for Galaxy for the first game. So now for those of you who enjoys this music, lucky enough for you, they actually run it back for this game as well. Now, another thing that I actually forgot to mention about, and it's actually about the Flumps and the from Mouse. Yeah, considering that we went through the Price of Comet and Bowser's Lava Lair. Yeah, that's something I probably should have brought up. That's something I probably should have brought up while we were there. While we were there. Now the thing that I forgot to mention about the Flumps and the Mouse is that unlike the majority of the enemies in this game, where the majority of the new enemies don't exactly get to return, the Flumps and the Mouse did get to at least reappear in at least one Mario game after this one, and both of them show up in Mario Party Island Tour. So, and that was really the last time that we ever really get to see them. Okay, but anyways, oh god, yeah, that one was a massive fail. Yeah, I wanted to see if I could actually do it right this time, but nope. That one was more of a massive fail than the last time I tried to get every coin there. Yeah, I decided. Yeah, I friggin' went on a friggin' I went on a friggin' angle with that. But anyways, everyone. As I was saying, yeah, the Mouse and the Flumps do get to reappear in one more Mario game. Yeah, but that is really the only ever time that we ever really get to see them. But like I said, they did get to be lucky enough so that they can actually, considering that they did get to show up in another Mario game after this. Yeah, like I said, unlike the majority of the new enemies that they introduced for this game, yeah, they don't exactly get to really come back. Yeah, but anyways, everyone, as you can see, for this final area for the main mission, now, while we can bypass the Wigglers by long jumping, but if you're not careful, yeah, the Wigglers are essentially just walking / running on by. They can actually mess you up, even if you're just about to, let's say for example, if you're essentially hanging onto the ledge of that platform that you just long jumped to, then the Wiggler can actually bump you, and then you will go falling, down. Yeah, that's what happened to me when I first played this. Yeah, and it definitely made me die quite a bit there. But anyways, now we are done with that. Now we're gonna move on to a new galaxy, Flipsville. Now this one, we're definitely gonna be going upside down and the upside. We're gonna be flipping in two different sides of gravity here. Next we go for one of the missions for this one, flip-flopping in Flipsville. Yeah, as you'll see, Yeah, we are gonna be going upside down, and on the we're gonna be full flip-flopping to the other sides of the gravity, all throughout this whole galaxy. And also to compensate with this, here's where we get introduced to another brand new enemy for Galaxy 2. Now these guys are called the Dozers. Now, what these guys do, they really don't attack you. Yeah, they simply just like to walk. Yeah, they simply just like to walk back and forth. Now, even though they have spikes on them, which means you can't exactly jump on them, but, however, if you just happen to ground pound right there, where the Dozers are essentially are walking to, then that's how you can actually defeat them. Yeah, but anyways, now as you can see, now this Toad tells you that the enemy's soft bellies look so squishy. Yeah, that's essentially the Toad's telling you that that these Dozers can be defeated by essentially ground pounding their stomachs from the other side. But anyways. Now, as you can see as well, we definitely been seeing a bunch of Toads here lately. Is that our captain? How did he get all the way up there? The better question, you should really say yourself. How did you get here to begin with, Toad? Yeah, maybe that's something you should ask yourself. Because with the way that he got there is essentially the way that we're gonna be getting to is essentially the way we're gonna be seeing where we're gonna be getting to Captain Toad. Yeah. But anyways, never this bonus mini game. We have to go for a bunch. And now we have to go for these twirlips again. Yeah, and I still haven't got the opportunity for me to be able to jump on. Okay, there we go. Yeah, now, as I said before about these twirlips, now you can still jump on them. Now you can still jump on the bulbs, like, hey, even when they're spinning. But anyways, now for this whole galaxy structure itself, this place sort of looks like a really weird looking farm. Yeah, as you've been seeing. Yeah, especially for around here, we see like a farmer's hat over there. Yeah, this place is sort of like a little farmer's place, but we don't really see any actual farmers around here, which is actually kind of odd. Yeah, but anyways, now before we take that launch star, now let's go see what Captain Toad has to say. No scary monsters up here. I'm safe for now. Yeah, the scary monster that is clearly over to our right, over the background over there. Ah! Mario! I was just making sure we're clear. Right. Ah! Sir! We spotted a monster over here! Yeah, that Toad over there definitely spotted. And then Captain Toad's like, oh no! I definitely do not want to go over there. Anyways, and now over here we're just gonna be dealing with some chumps. Yeah, however, you can't exactly ground pound on the chomps. Yeah, from the other side. Cause if you do that, then you will just get yourself hurt. So, don't even bother doing that. Over here. Oh god! Move. Oh god, look at them star bits. Oh god. Alright, because these multiple chain chomps are just constantly colliding with each other. Alright, let me see if I can get more out of them. Yeah, give me more of them star bits. Thank you. Alright, we're done here. Anyways. Now. Oh yeah, and I guess since we aren't just gonna go through the rest of this now until we get to that scary scary monster. I guess I should talk about this galaxy's music. It's decent enough. I kind of like it, but it's not one of the tracks that I would listen to all day. So, yeah, it's not really one of my tops. But I guess I kind of like it. But anyways, and now we have this portion of the mission where we essentially have to make sure that we ground pound just at the right time, so that we can not only avoid the spikes, but also making sure that, yeah, we do it just at the right time, because otherwise you may end up getting hurt in the process, because you may end up messing up and then you'll either fall downwards or even fall upwards too. Anyways, yeah, we'll let that pop dozer live. But anyways, now we have reached the storage room. According to my investigation, you must lure Glamdozer in close, then kerfwump. Know what I mean? Yeah, that is essentially the best advice that the Toads can probably give to you, especially when it comes to the actual boss fights and whatnot. But anyways, everyone yourself another live stream or whatnot, then there's a limit there. And now, as we reach up to the scary monster, or as she is actually mostly known as, the Glamdozer. And we first start seeing her as she's full asleep, but as soon as we ground pound, yeah, that's when she immediately wakes up that she just got hurt, and now she wants to get rid of you. Now, Glamdozer, I would say, is pathetically easy. Yeah, all you really have to do is essentially just wait underneath. As soon as you are done attacking her, so then and even after she shoots out multiple lava balls, which can actually make those things where you have to ground pound to, so that you could go to the other side, filled up with lava for a short while. Yeah, but as you saw. Yeah, if you wait just at that right moment, yeah, you really don't have to worry about those lava balls. So yeah, like I said, Glamdozer is definitely one of the more easier bosses. It's definitely one of the more easier bosses to defeat in this game. Yeah, but anyways, there we go. Now we definitely got those. And now we're done with them, we can now get access to not one but two more galaxies. Man, we're definitely getting access to a lot of galaxies now. But we now have to go back to Supermassive, because there's now many pranks to come in there. Oh, and now we get another letter, which is obviously addressed to the baby Luma again. To my lost Luma, if you're ever feeling alone, just know that your friends are behind you. Well, by friends, she obviously meant by the other. She obviously meant by the other Lumas around. Yeah. But anyways, once again, we get 50 more star bits. Yeah, that's if we didn't actually have enough star bits, so that we can actually get those letters from. But whatever. But anyways, now Supermassive brings to comment. I definitely recall being annoyed by this when I first played this. Boy, here we go again. And it's called Big Wiggler's Speedrun. Now, even though it is a speedrun, and while we don't have to collect any extended timers for this one, it's just the process to actually get to the end is my problem. Because we have 2 minutes and 30 seconds to get there. And we essentially have to make sure that we don't hold ourselves for too long. or should I say, we just have to make sure that you don't wait around too long. Because if you do, that will definitely cost you a lot of time. And especially when we get to this portion right here with the, when we get to this portion with the, swamps, because of course you are trying your best to not get squished. And then as we're going over to the, as we're going over to the, Koopas, we also have to make sure that we defeat them too. Oh yeah, and also with that launch star, yeah, it is definitely placed a lot different than when we actually went through this before. Yeah, I think it's definitely on a much more higher position than it was before. Oh yeah, sorry, and also, if you just so happen to miss the Koopa with the spin drill, that can also cost you a lot of time too. And now as we go through this section, as we go through this section here again, the only thing we really have to worry about is making sure that we don't get ourselves hit by the Paragoombas, and of course we don't slow down for these piranha plants. And of course, making sure that we don't fall off, even while being assisted by these rising and sinking platforms. But anyways, now definitely take the second launch star like immediately. And then as for the mega wigglers, like I said, if you want to launch jump, just make sure you don't get hit by the wigglers on the other side. Yeah, as you reach the other side, because most likely you will get hit and fall off like I did plenty of times. But anyways, yeah, if you're doing what I'm doing, yeah, it can take a long process, but I'd say it's definitely the much more safer. But I would say it is definitely the much more safer route. But anyways, there we go. Oh yeah, if you just so happen to miss that star while trying to jump from the pole, yeah, then that can be extremely annoying. And especially when you probably only have like less than like 10 seconds to be able to get it. Yeah, like I said, that one's really a bitch to get. But thankfully I managed to do it on my first try on this run. Yeah, thank God for that. But as everyone with that said, that should be all I'm going to do for this part. And so, to the next part, I'll see you guys next time.